Hello, welcome to my channel, another Bibliophile Reads. My name is Greg, and I am here to review The Golden Cage by Camilla Lackberg, translated from the Swedish by Neil Smith. Now, I read this as a audiobook, and this is a mystery novel. It starts off with a very brief scene that does not give any names, but a woman is talking to a police inspector about a daughter that is apparently missing, and there is a lot of blood on the scene, and how the ex-husband is to blame. It then goes back, does a flashback, and the flashback is in first person. And it's the story of a young woman going into Stockholm for the first time. Now, it is very clear, at least to me, that this woman has done something that she should not have done, and she is fleeing from something. It then goes forward in time, I guess what would be considered a contemporary time, and it is a third person narrator, and it's the story of Faye. And she's fresh from the hillsides of Sweden, and she is trying to make do and get a life together. And essentially what this is this woman, Faye, meets up with some men. And she has a boyfriend, and then she meets another man which she likes better. And she does something with her old boyfriend, which is very disturbing. But this new boyfriend, his name is Jack, and he's an up-and-comer. He's got a very fine pedigree in Swedish society, but his father was a drunkard and apparently squandered a lot of his fortune. So Jack is going to have to make his way in society and make a fortune on his own. And of course, he falls madly in love with Faye, and Faye falls madly in love with him. And Jack, with his friend Henrik, start up a business. And Faye contributes a lot to this business with her intelligence and business plans. But she is not part of that business. She's still a few years behind in studying economics in the Swedish Academy. I'm not sure if it's the Swedish Academy, it's a Swedish university. And they do get married, and they do have a child together. And it's becoming clear that Jack is going to be doing something. And I don't want to get too much into the details, but Jack does very cruelly dump Faye. Apparently she signed a prenuptial agreement which gave her absolutely no money. Now, before then, she was basically the top of Swedish society. Jack was became a very successful businessman, and he was worth millions or billions of kroner. And I really don't understand how much kroner translates into US dollars, but they were very wealthy. And he kicked her out with nothing. And she is going to be getting her revenge. And the revenge story is her building up her own company. I'm going to leave that as just the outline of the story. Now the problem with Faye is, and I've mentioned it before, she's done bad things in her past. She did something to an ex-boyfriend which was very disturbing. She is not a white hat character. She may not be a black hat character, but she's definitely in the very dark gray. And the thing is, she's a very strong character. She's very determined. At one point, she let Jack rule her life, and she became the frumpy housewife that did not work and just went to parties with other wives, and of course Jack left her. And then it takes off after that. And what she does is quite interesting and very disturbing. You learn things about the characters as they go on. Now, one of the things I did not like was the character of Jack. He was, of course, introduced as this great all-around man and a great find for any woman in Swedish society. But he turns out to do a lot of cliched things. Now, I'm not going to say what all those cliched things are, but if you were to write a story and you were to say, I want to make the husband a bad guy, what bad things would you have that husband do? Go ahead, write them down. What's your first choice? Yeah, he did that. And then think of the nastiest thing a husband could do who had a wife and a daughter. Yeah, he did that too. I don't think it ruined the story. It was a little disappointing at the end that the author couldn't make him just a little more different in his wickedness, and a little different for deserving revenge. Now, overall, I did enjoy this book. When I was listening to it, I never for a moment stopped of abandoning it for a different book, and I finished it. Now, this author is known in Sweden for a crime series, and when I first learned this author, I was dithering between this book, The Golden Cage, and the first series for police procedurals or police mystery. It's about a town. I don't remember the town. But I decided to go with this one, which was supposed to be a standalone book. And when I was reading reviews, a lot of the reviews were complaining that there was too much sex in this novel. And I do have to agree, there are some graphic sex scenes in this book. They don't disturb me at all. I thought they were rather interesting, a little too detailed in some parts, but that's okay. Now, what I did find out after finishing The Golden Cage is that the author has written a sequel called The Silver Lining. And I can see that. The book did end on a surprise in the very last sentence that most readers probably will not expect, although she did set up details in her backstories. And if you're following the details in the backstory and then following the details in the contemporary story, you're seeing a lot of things that are similar. So I probably should have picked that one up. But anyway, The Golden Cage by Camilla Lackberg. If you like mysteries, I think it's a great pick. It will not finish at the top of my list. I will, or at least I might pick up The Silver Lining one of these days. That really depends if it's on sale at Audible. If Audible ever has it on a 2-for-1 sale, yeah, I'll pick it up. I may even pick it up on its own somewhere down the line, but it would not be high on my list. Anyway, that is my review of this book. Thank you. Goodbye.